So thank you very much. I think this certainly is a very interesting session and very distinct session to assimilate the ideas and come with certain recommendations that what India shall be doing. There is no denying the fact that there was a consensus on maritime threat perception, and that will keep unfolding. It is not going to get restricted only to the piracy or narcotics trafficking. There may be newer type of threats coming, and that is how India needs to get completely alerted. What I see that in the current context, the mechanism which India uses largely to gather intelligence information from maritime domain, that has to get augmented. So intelligence gathering mechanism requires to get revisited, and that perhaps is one area we need to really discuss maybe in the next this Trivandrum dialogue edition 2. I think all of us have agreed that India has to put equal emphasis on all the three verticals: Southeast Asia, South Pacific, and Indian Ocean littorals. Indian Ocean littorals requires a special emphasis by India because of the challenges which might emanate in Arabian Peninsula, and that perhaps is one area of larger concern. And in that context, I think as a scholar or as a personal learner, we need to do a lot of hypothetical scenario building exercises. And in that context, that whether India is prepared. Suppose there is some problem, especially in the context of understanding the larger policy issues, which obviously will get unfolded as a part of response from Iran in the current context, how whether India is prepared to deal with such situation. And that was really reflected in Ambassador Sitaram's lecture yesterday. So I think we need to really do a lot of hypothetical scenario building exercises. The existing initiatives which India has undertaken, whether it is Sagar or Mahasagar or various other exercises, how that has to get completely strengthened in that context. We have seen that how, whether it was the Milan or Coromandel, this Malabar, if you see that a lot of the exercises which are undergoing, how those exercises really required to really get augmented further, because we see that the participation has increased at a very phenomenal pace. That again is one area where we need to really put focus on. Indo-Pacific, whether we agree with the definition of the US or not, whether we have our own definition, as you know that we don't synergize on the definition or understanding of the Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific is going to really occupy a pivotal position in the emerging dynamics of geopolitics. You can't undermine the way the things are getting unfolded. And in that context, I think whatever we really have taken initiatives in the Indo-Pacific, I think that also needs to get augmented. I would like to really highlight one of the initiatives which India has taken anyway, that is largely on India-Pacific Ocean initiative, how that could really yield dividends to India. And that is something which is very, very important part. As I have already spoken yesterday, that how India believes in creating win-win situation. Resource sharing, I think, has to be further given emphasis, and the mobilization of international public opinion on this could really be one area of greater challenge, especially from India's point of view. Economics and trade, I think, is something which completely would depend on maritime diplomacy, and that is something which we need to again adhere to, that how that could really get strengthened. I think a lot of the challenges will keep coming, especially in protecting and securing the sea lines of communication. India has to get well prepared in terms of working with those which are like-minded, and obviously not taking any initiative which could really be seen unilateral, the way US has taken, like RMSI, Regional Maritime Security Initiative, Proliferation Security Initiative, Container Security Initiative. So India really has to align with many of these emerging challenges. So more of these challenges will keep happening in the maritime domain, and India certainly has to play a very important role in the current context because of the fact that there is a fast changing world, especially because of the President Trump's decisions on many issues, and that perhaps will give a space, enough a space to other countries to assume responsibility and lead the maritime affairs. Thank you very much.